So legs wide. There's a few different stances, but this is the main one I teach and the main one that you'll use. So think of there's a rope in between your legs, and one leg is on one side and one leg is on the other side. So you're wide. If you're too narrow, which is a common mistake, you get kicked, you're gonna get thrown off your base. So think like sumo. You're not gonna move, you're not gonna budge, but not that exaggerated. And then you wanna feel the weight on the balls of your feet. 50-50 weight distribution. So you don't wanna lean too forward, you don't wanna lean too back. 50-50 weight distribution. Very important, the heel off the floor, the back foot. You don't wanna be flat either. Imagine like you're gonna be sprinting. You're gonna sprint. If we're gonna set up for a sprint, boom, I explode like that. I push off the ball of my foot. Same as when you push off to punch, push off to knee, push off to kick, push off to everything. Use the ball of the back foot to push off. Then unlock your hips, hands up, crunch your stomach, and then your guard is cheekbone level. And then the left hand is just a little bit out, like this. Not like this. This is no good for kicks. Your balance is not going to be good to kick. You want your arms out a little bit because that helps counterbalance you. When you position your feet, the front foot, 12 o'clock. Your back foot, 2 o'clock. The front foot, a common mistake is when you have your front foot pointed in, kind of like a boxer, but this is not going to work because you can't check like this. And sometimes people try to do that, and what happens is they get kicked like this. That has to be 12 o'clock, pointing straight. So when you block, it's already there. The angle for the shin is already there. So make sure that's 12 o'clock. The back foot, 2 o'clock is ideal. And then the last thing, you don't want to be a statue. You want to have that bounce on the balls of your feet, up and down. So not forward and back, up and down. This is exaggerated, up and down, exaggerated. Bum, bum, bum. Yep, but just a little subtle. And this gives me momentum to pop off. All right, and the hand positioning. So you got this guard. This is good for, if your strength is your hands, this will be best. So like tight and strong and fist clenched, then you can use your hands more. Or tie stance is open. This is good for parry, for clinch, to turn things into a parry, turn things into a clinch. This is good for when I kick, it's more streamlined. It's a counterbalance. When I knee is good, when I elbow, everything is faster with the hands open. Think about running with if you're gonna sprint, would you sprint with your fists closed? You're gonna go slower. With open hands, when you're running, much faster. Same as when you kick, elbow, knee is all the same. Open hands is gonna be smoother, faster. Parry better, clinch better. But the disadvantage is you're not gonna punch well because you still have to close your fists. So it takes a teeny bit of time. And when you start from further out, you don't have as much distance to generate. You don't have enough distance to accelerate. So it's not gonna be as strong. From here, bam, it's much more powerful. So you choose. It's just a different option. Your hands are more dominant, you don't want to clinch, or you're fighting kickboxing, you're not fighting Thai boxing, this stance is gonna be better. Either or, whatever comes natural to start with. Usually I'll let the person just start with whatever comes natural, and then we try the other stance. This is the defensive stance. Used very often, but good to learn the one that I just showed you, and then later add this next stance in. But I wouldn't learn this first off as the first stance. So this one, you put the weight on the back foot, you bounce, and you're getting your push kicks ready. This is really good for countering and being elusive and fighting backwards. So there's different types of jabs, but the one for Muay Thai is the power jab. So from here, pow. So think of punching, you're punching with your legs. Almost everyone thinks too much upper body. They're thinking with their arms, bang, bang. But 85% of your awareness has to be the legs. It's the legs. If I'm pushing a car, what am I using? I'm using my legs. All the power comes from my legs. All the strength is generated from there. So when I do the jab, just watch my legs for now. Don't worry about the hands. The hands are the easy part. The hand is just this. Doesn't do anything. It's the legs. I push off the ball of my back foot. This is for the jab. So I push off the back foot. I explode forward. I stay centered, 50-50, so I'm not leaning forward. And then when I land, I push off the front foot to return to my stance. If you lean forward, you have more power, but you can't check. You can't block a kick after that. So this is the difference with boxing and Thai boxing. It's a little bit different. It's you're just adjusting the balance. So 50-50 instead of maybe 70-30. So now I'll do the full jab. And then you sync it up. So it's not step, then jab, or it's not jab, then step. That's actually the most common mistake. So this is a common mistake. People throwing the leading with their arm. No. You want a faster jab, go faster legs. Faster feet, faster jab. So I lead with the legs, and then the jab comes out. Opposite hand is up, of course. Yeah. Boom. You twist, bring it back. Just straight line. Sometimes it helps if you practice on the wall, because common mistake, people throw their elbow out. You want it to go straight through. You can stand next to a wall and you can practice just straight jabs. Straight jabs. But the legs, don't do this either. Don't do soft, weak legs. Be explosive. 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 Very important. That's the jab. The right punch. 3 steps to remember. Step side, turn the hip or pivot the foot, then punch. Don't punch at the end. So it's the body movement first. Step to the side, turn, then punch. Here. Teeny step to the side. Like, whatever you step to the side, step less than that. But you need the step for 2 reasons. For momentum. If you don't, it just doesn't, there's no good momentum. And 2, really, really important, and I just have to explain this theoretically but you'll understand. When someone's right in front of me, the gloves are right there. If I throw a punch, the glove is in the way. I have to, this is why people punch like this, because they're trying to get in the middle to the chin. All you have to do is step, turn, and now you're in the middle. So it's just like an inch difference. Realistically, if you try it with a partner, you'll understand. So you tiny step to the side, turn, now, and then when I twist, now this shoulder will be facing your chin, then it just comes out straight. Then you don't see it. It's not as telegraphed. If I don't do that step, and then to get to the middle, I have to come at an angle. My elbow's going to come up, the eye picks it up, and the person will block. So anyway, little 3 things to remember. All you got to remember is this: step, turn, then punch. Don't even think about the punch till the end. So that's the right punch. I'll show you what it looks like. 1, slow, I'll show you a couple of slows. Slow, a little fast. Here, fast. Of course, there's so many different types of right hand punches. This is just textbook. Now, we'll do the left hook. Left hook is way more complicated, and don't worry if you don't get it in the first day or the first week or the first month. The left hook, a lot of people aren't confident with that. But don't worry, that's common. So, with the left hook, there's so many ways to teach this. There's a few different ways to do it. I'll give you the easiest, most efficient way, I think. So, if you're gonna do a left hook on its own, you need a wind up. If I just throw it from there, there's no power. I need a wind up. So I turn the hip, or you can think of pulling your left shoulder back, either or. Turn, and then this hand, the left hand, just think there's water, don't let it dip below water. This comes out, so you tip it out, but the elbow stays close, and then you big circle, like a scoop, like a haymaker, and then punch. The elbow has to be a bit high. It's not like this, because if there's a person here and their arm is here and you're trying to get through the guard, this is the angle that it goes through. So anyway, I'll show you again. Here. So here, I wind up first, and then the big circle. Big circle. Now, everyone asks me, do you punch like this or like this? So knuckles that way or knuckles like this? Easy answer. If someone is far, it's gonna be knuckles like that. Okay, because this, you can't go far, because now you have to twist bend your wrist, it's not gonna work. This is more powerful. This is a boxing punch. This we don't do in Muay Thai because this is for short hooks. And if somebody is here, we're clinching, we're elbowing, we're kneeing. We've got different weapons. So this we don't use in Muay Thai, but this is a way stronger punch. I actually teach this hook first, the boxing hook. Stronger punch, but kind of easier to learn. Feels good on the bag. You can use it for kickboxing because there's no clinch. But for Thai boxing, traditional Thai boxing, the punch is gonna come out and rotate and connect with the two knuckles for the distance. When I'm punching someone, they're gonna be this far from me. When they're coming closer, they're gonna be in my clinch range. We're gonna be wrestling, we're gonna be elbowing, we're gonna be kneeing. It's different. So if you're just starting out, punch like this. Plus, it's a little safer for your wrist and you won't get hurt. Punch like this for now. Right uppercut. Just like the right punch, I push off the back foot, I step to the side. Maybe you can't see me do it that much. It's very subtle but super important. Little step to the side. I dip. So it's all my legs, like I was saying before. Everything is legs. So I'm not even going to show you the arm because that's not as important. Step, dip, lift. Lift. Step, dip, and lift. Yeah. Step, dip, and lift. When you lift, that's when your arm goes. Here. Here. Uppercut, straight. So the forearm is vertical. If you don't do the dip and lift, this is what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna overcompensate to get that power. So you'll do this, like most people. You'll step, you'll drop your arm so low and try to lift, but you're doing that because instinctively that's not gonna have anything. But if you do it with your legs, I'm exaggerating now, but you don't have to dip this so much. So that way your opponent won't see it. Like that, yeah. A little dip, a lift, and it's there. I got power, but I hide the punch as well. When you connect, aim, there's different ways to do this, but for me, I aim the whole square, not the two knuckles, I aim the whole fist to fit into the person. Squeeze my knuckle really strong, boom. All right, the left is kind of a little bit trickier. I'm gonna exaggerate it now so you can see. You pivot you wind up, just like the left hook, but different angle. Left hook is horizontal. The left uppercut is diagonal down. So I kind of dip. I think you can see that. Dip, so I'll exaggerate it. And then lift. Because the angle I want is to come up like that. So I'm exaggerating. And then to hide it, but I did a little turn, a little dip and a lift. Dip and a lift. Here. So you can't, I don't know, I'm sure you can't see the dip and the lift, but it's there. It's this and this. So it's this, and then I step and uppercut. Uppercut is straight, not like this. It's gonna be like that. Here. Thai boxing, remember, it's not boxing. With person's further away, because we're doing long punches. Long punches, not short. They're not close to us. They're long. They're far. If they come close, it changes to the clinch. There's two main kicks for Thai boxing. Your bread and butter kicks. The kicks that you'll use 90% of the time is the roundhouse kick and the push kick. That's it. Then you got your fancier kicks, the axe kick, the spin kick, the side kicks, the back kicks. Don't worry about all that. You have to get good at the teep, the push kick, and the roundhouse kick. And a good way to learn the roundhouse kick, I'll show you right now. I'm going to get a chair. This is how I normally teach the roundhouse kick. There's a lot of ways to do it. I mean, there's a lot of drills that you could do, a lot. And this is just one of them. But this one gets you going pretty fast. So I put a chair. I don't know if you can see, there's a line because I'm going to kick over the line. So there's a couple of things. This is a lane. I start off inside the lane. The first move I initiate, push off the ball of my foot, step side, just like I would with a knee, just like I would with the right punch, just like I would with an uppercut. That part's really, really important, but it's easy to forget. Push off the ball of your back foot, step side. Then knee comes up. Then when my shin passes here, which I'll show you in a sec, the shin is parallel to the ground, is parallel, and my foot lands above the line, past the line. So I'll show you a couple of slow, then a fast. When you do it, see this part of my hip? I propel forward, push forward. So it's not this. It's not like a circle. That's there's not much range in that. It's easy to miss that. It's very short. It's not even that powerful either. You want to push forward, or you gain way more distance, way more power driving forward. So I'll show you faster. And look forward. And then when you finish the kick, you can step out, pull the front leg back, and you're back in your stance. So this is simulating if you miss. So let's say I kicked you, and I missed, and you're coming at me, you can recover. So that's good, do that. And then you can do it for the left side as well. Push kicks. The one that you would use the most is the front push kick. That's the one that most people don't want to do. They start off with their back one. Start off with your front one. So you're here, put all your weight on the back leg. Knee comes up. You use your quads, this muscle, to extend. Think of it like a stomp, you know, a stomp, not a snap. That's a different kick. It's not wrong, but that's not a push kick. A push is to push the person away, to hit them in the middle, in the sternum. So it's like it's a stomp. Here. Knee up, extend. Hips have to be loose. So you can see me extend, but I'm not purposefully doing that. I'm leaving it loose like suspension. And then after I kick, I keep the knee up and then I bring it back down. That's for balance. If I didn't do that, this is what it would look like. You know, it throws me off. But if I'm here, I can keep it up, I could check, and then I'm back in my stance. Common mistake. There's one main one. What is it? Oh, this one. I think 10 out of 10 people will do this. So definitely eliminate that extra step. Very subtle, but you're not going to land it. If you do this, if you step, then push kick, what will happen is, well, firstly, the reason why you do that is trying to get that momentum. If you do that, as soon as I step, the person reacts, they're going to move. Then the target where you planned to kick is not there. It's not going to work. You have to do this two ways. The first, you're already in the distance, you're already in range, and you pop it up. You don't want to do a step, then kick. The step, they're going to know what you're doing. They're going to know you're doing something. You just pop, just kick. If you do need the distance, you either do a back push kick. So if you need to cover distance, the person's a little bit too far, and to avoid stepping, you do this. So what I'm doing is I'm loading up on my back foot. So I'm loading up on my back leg. I'll do it slow. And the front knee comes up at the same time. So it's one move. So I'm not doing this. I'll show you the wrong way. Bam, that's the wrong way. That's the wrong way with the step. Now the right way, it's just one step. It's just one move. They don't have time to react. So you gotta load up your back leg and jump with that. And at the same time, when you lift your knee, both of that propels you to jump. I'll do it 2 more times. Yeah, I'll do it slow and then fast. So when I connect, I'll land on the floor and connect at the same time. Boom, boom. Then if I go fast, now the back one is a little bit easier. Normally, you pull your foot inside a little bit. This helps with balance. Pull the front foot back inside. There's 2 types of knees, but there's the one that I show initially is this. Push up the ball of your back foot, step a little bit side. The knee comes up, it comes up, and then the hip extends. Like that. Don't pivot your front foot. If you pivot, this is what happens. You can't recover. It looks like I'm pivoting, it looks like I'm twisting, but that's because I'm flaring my shin. Or, in other words, I'm pulling my foot out. And the reason why I do that is so the kneecap goes in. You want the knee to push in like a right punch, not like an uppercut. It's not this. That's going to slide off when there's a lot of sweat or oil if you're fighting Thai boxing. It slips off. You want to go in. So, little step, lift up, extend. You should feel your hip flexor stretch. If I knee with this, I will feel the opposite hip flexor stretch. Nice stretch, long. Think of making your knees long. And flare the shin. Sometimes it's hard to do just because of flexibility, especially for guys. You know, everything's tight. Whatever, you got to stretch. Yeah, that's that knee. Then you got the other side. Don't ever do this. That's just don't do that. That's not gonna. That doesn't mean anything. You have to switch. Switch. So I'll show you the switch actually. So the switch is, this is southpaw stance. This is orthodox. I just want to go from one to the other. Both feet shuffle at the same time. Not jump, just shuffle. Like that, shuffle. And put a little bit more weight on the front legs. So you have power for whatever's coming in the back. Could be a kick, could be a punch, could be anything. Sorry, it could be a kick, a punch, or a knee. So, and then land forward. Land forward. Flare the shin. You can land back if the person doesn't move, for example. Imagine there's ropes here, and I hit them, boom, and then I rebound back to southpaw, then you can step back into orthodox. In general, when you learn, especially shadow boxing, just go forwards. Boom, and go forward. That's fine. Elbows. Elbows are short versions of punches. This is what I normally tell someone. Throw a right hand. Yeah. Then I open the hand up, and I do this. There you go. You know how to elbow. Throw a right hand. Open the hand up, comb your hair. That's it. You got the 2 main elbows. Now throw a jab. Same footwork, almost, but for now same footwork. Boom. Open the hand. That's your step up elbow. And then the hook. Boom. You turn that into an elbow. It's exactly the same. If you can punch, if you can box, you can elbow. It's not that. It's easy, but it's harder to land. They're very short. It's another thing landing them. Don't worry about that for now. So the step up elbow goes through the guard. The jab goes straight. The elbow goes on a bit of an angle. Too much detail for now, but don't worry about that actually. Just boop. That's your step up elbow. The left, the right, step side, twist first. That's your right elbow. Common mistake. So a few mistakes that pop up in my head. People's guards start here. Look where my elbows are. Look how far away they are. Now look where they are. They're right there. Bam, bam, they're right there. My hands are down, or like this type of guard. Look how far away they are. I'm not going to be able to use them well. So if you're fighting Thai boxing or you want to use your elbows, yeah, the guard's going to be up here. Bam, bam. Definitely don't muscle in. That's not where you get the power from with the elbows. The power. So If I touched my elbow on your forehead and I just tapped it, you'll wince. It doesn't take much. Then, if I put my hand on your chest and I push you, you'll go flying. That's all my legs. You combine the two. So, what I'm saying is, your weight driving forward is the power. All I need is to be precise. Just be accurate. Just put it where it should be put. And the power's coming from your weight. That'll do its job. So don't think about power. That's actually a big distraction. Think about the technique, the weight driving forward, staying centered, and hitting exactly where it should hit. And then it opens up the skin very easily. So I'll show you a couple of the elbows. That's that. Then you got your fancy ones. Coming over. Pop, 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 pop. Those ones. But don't worry about that. These ones, that'll cover 85% of situations. They're like the bread and butter elbows. They're the ones that I teach first. Later we can get fancy. And the last one is the checks. Oh, basic defense. So defense is not just blocking. Defense is deterring the person, push kicking them away is the defense. So sometimes when I talk about defense with new people, they expect blocks. I'm going to give you blocks, but it's not just that. It's defense is movement and distracting the person. There's so many ways to defend. It's not always just blocks, but the main blocks, very simple, and this will take me 1 minute. The parries, pop, pop, that's it. When the punch comes, you place it and push. You don't smack it. And you definitely don't go too far. It's just a little pop. This is the danger zone. Once it gets in that, that's when you hit it. If it doesn't get in that, you shouldn't react. Two types of parries. The side one, they both have pros and cons. Then you got the just like you're holding mitts. If you're using kicks, if you want to keep a distance, those ones will be better. The ones like the mitts, you can keep out at a distance. And this one is good for grabbing. So you're hitting their hand away so you can walk in and grab them and knee them if you want to clinch, or you hit their hand away and then you counter with kicks. So if you want to get in and get dirty, you can parry this way to get in. If you want to keep them at a distance and be safe, you can parry like you're holding mitts. That's it for that. Then the checks, the blocks, so blocking kicks, high or low, generally the same. There's variations, exceptions, but when you learn, you just learn the one, and this is it. So from here, a little step inside because this helps me with my balance, and then lift. Watch the top half of my body. It doesn't do anything. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't move your body. The body does nothing. Look, it's just the legs. The body stays there. Bam. And then pause for 1 second, then back down. Pause because you've got to know what your counter is. You've got time. You've got more time than you think. You don't have to rush it. You're not meant to rush it. You rush it, you mess it up. You mess up your counter is what I'm saying. Boom. And then you can counter whatever you want. Boom. Boom, boom. The check, the shin, has to be not 90 degrees, but slightly out. That's going to be strong. You don't want this to happen. Boing. You don't want that. Flex your toes down. You can go up. Up is a little stronger. That's strong. It covers less area. You can easily get more sweep. You can get swept easier, and you can smash your toes. But it's a little bit stronger. Point your toes down. Learn that first. Here. So here. Then the other side, exactly the same thing. The other side, you pull your back leg towards the center. If I didn't do that, this is what would happen. I would have to lean back, and it's not a balanced check. Not as strong. They'll kick me, I might go flying. But if I'm here and I step into the middle and check, it's going to be like clink, and it'll hurt them more than it hurts me. That's what I want. One last thing about the check, lean forward. This is a common mistake. Too much upright, then they fall. But you have to stay hinged forward. Hinged forward. So when there's more weight forward, and it counterbalances the weight. so you don't go flying. They hit you, they get hurt, not the other way around.